So that's obviously music that you've listened to quite a lot, and you've actually, for many years, that's worn into your psyche, right? That's there. If someone said right away, look, you've got a big game or a performance on stage right now, don't listen to that warm-up music or the music you're already used to doing. It's not going to work because you're listening to that band or that music for years. And so the rhythm, that's the second thing. So it's actually wired into your brain. That's, that you can actually remember, and it links back, of course, within your brain to memories. Music is a huge way of, linking back, especially to our youth. A lot of people, their first sign of independence, and this, to the listener who's, for example, talking about jobs, if we think back to our first job, our first independence probably was around the same time, 16, 18, 20 years of age or so. And so the music that was really cool back then, or what you perceived was cool, was, it's really indelibly linked to your memories as well. So those neurons are connected to a different part of your brain, which is really cool. And so the language then that you use, which is really interesting as well. So language that could come from, say, Ice Ice Baby. When you hear ice, ice again in a phrase, if you're a person who listened back to the late 80s, 90s or whatever else, that kind of music, and I'm looking at Rubio here specifically, you will actually, be able to link that to a memory. Certain, and I wanted to, I'd love to see him do like a little bit of rendition on that. But also there's a deeper thing with music as well. If you think of, a crowd at a performance, if you get them going, if you're performing and if you're strumming that guitar correctly to a well-known song or something, there's going to be a unison. There's going to be a collective kind of energy. And that is like, there's a lot of depth of that. There's a lot of research still going on with that. But that is like an underlying type of rhythm that's there as well. And we all can kind of sometimes feel, wow, I had a great night. Last night I was dancing or whatever else was happening because a certain band or certain music, and there's a unison that people are not united because of, a concert, something, a united energy. So there's a huge thing going on, a very deep part of, I think, going back to like prehistoric times, we're wired for that kind of, and it brings in the whole, not just the rhythm of what's happening in the dance, but also the history, this kind of laughing and all this kind of fun and the connectivity that human beings really desire, and which was proven with regard to lockdowns and pandemics that we've all experienced now, unfortunately.